So welcome everyone. Hello, it's Shelly James and welcome to another live on Saturday. I am back and excited to be sharing a Passionflower demo with you guys tonight. So hopefully you're coming on and joining me. And if you are, just give me a quick hello in the chats and let me know you're there. Okay, so I'll give you all just a minute or two to come on before we get started. Hello, Pat. Hello, Brenda. Hi, sweetie. And got a couple on the Facebook feed too. If you guys can hear me okay, go ahead and give me a little shout and let me know you're there. Hi, Lee. Thank you. Okay. Hey, Denise and Curtis, Veronica, Della, Cindy, Bobby. Hello, Cindy, Bobby. So that just reminds me. So I just got back from a trip out to California and we got to go see the Brady Bunch house. So if you ever watched that show, it was kind of a big deal for me because I watched that growing up. And the person that owns that house now bought it a few years ago, fixed it all back up to its original state like it was back in the 60s, 70s when they made that show, and parked a gold, what do you call it, a station wagon out front. So it was pretty cool to see and very nostalgic. Yeah, so the trip was really fun. It was the end of our Route 66 trek. My husband and I had started doing that about 10 years ago. And if you've never done it, if you live anywhere near it, go hop on and go check out some of the things that are on Route 66. If you are considering doing it, don't wait because things are more and more disappearing along the route. But if you don't know what it was the basically a 2-lane road that went all the way from Chicago to Los Angeles. And so back in the 50s and 60s or whatever, before they created the big interstate highways, that was how people traveled from east to west, getting to LA. And so there's a lot of history and there's a lot of nostalgia. There's places that are just broken down remains, and there are other places that people have fixed up and restored back to what they were back in that day. So that was a road that was traveled from the 20s through the 60s, and then they built the freeways, and sadly a lot of those towns were bypassed because of the freeways, so they've fallen into disrepair or just not real populated anymore. So some of them are ghost towns. So it was just a really fun trip, and we took it in chunks. So we went from, so 10 years ago we were in the Grand Canyon, and we thought, okay, we'll just go check out Winslow and that area in Arizona. And that was what kind of hooked us onto it. And then we went a couple years later and did from Joliet, Illinois, all the way to Tulsa, Oklahoma. And then we moved south here and life took over and everything. And so it took us a while to get back to finishing that trip. And so now what we did was last October went to Oklahoma City and took it from there we got as far as Phoenix, which isn't on the route, but we had to turn around and come back because a hurricane was about to come and hit our house. So we had to come back and take care of that. And so then we were able to finish it up. We flew into Las Vegas and finished it from there to California. So that was fun, and we really enjoyed it. So if you get a chance to do it, go ahead and do it. So this month on my YouTube channel, for the various things that I'm posting, I'm going to be sharing some water themes. So this first Monday, my Paintabilities lesson was that splashing wave on the rocks. And I got a really good reception from you guys on that. It seems like you really enjoyed it. And so go check that out if you didn't get a chance. But we're going to continue with the theme of water. And so this coming Monday will be another wave. It's going to be a wave close up. And we're going to have a lot of fun with that. So that's all ready to go. And you're going to see that Monday at noon right here on my YouTube channel. That's Paintabilities, free lessons every Monday at noon. the March classes that I've got coming up are filling up, and I'm really excited about that. And I'm going to share those with you right now. I'm going to have my first one, which is the hummingbird, is coming up on the 18th of March. So that's a little over a week and a half away. So you've got time to get into that, but that's with this proud mama hummingbird. All right, this was done from a photograph, and she is sitting over her nest of eggs. I think it was a photograph, or it might have been AI. You can hardly tell these days. But anyway, so she's got metallic in her, and you can have fun with her. You can switch up the colors and make her whatever you want. But we're using the metallics with this, and we've got some other fun techniques. So you're going to learn how to create the nest and the different feather looks and shading and everything. So this is coming up March 18th. And then we also have the guiding lighthouse landscape, which is on a lighthouse cutout. All right. And so here you can see we're using 3 different stencils on this to make it easier. You do not have to use the stencils, but I recommend using them. Just makes it a lot easier, but you can get the pattern. So if you don't want the stencil, that's fine. But we're using my lighthouses stencil, we're using my boat stencil, and then we're using Donna Dewberry's bird variety stencil to do these seagulls. Very quick and easy, makes it really simple. So this one is coming up on March 25th. Both of them are 7 to 9 p.m. Both of them are $30 each. And if you get both classes for the month, I always offer a special deal. You get those both for $52. Okay. The wood surface, there is a link on my website to when you go sign up for the class that you can go get the wood surface as well. This is from unfinishedwoodco.com. And he's going to throw in a bonus chunky house, right? Which would look really cute sitting right down there. And that's going to be part of the kit itself. So this is $10, I believe is what he said. Yeah, $10 plus shipping and handling. And you get the free chunky house that goes with that from Unfinished Wood Co. And the link, as I mentioned, is on my website under the class listing. I also have links to the various stencils that we'll be using with this lesson. And the 2 of mine are on a special price right now for $12.95. They're regularly $14.95. So that's my lighthouses stencil and my boat stencil. Okay. And then Donna's had the link there, goes to her site if you want to get the bird variety stencil if you don't already have that. All right. So that's March classes. And I'm really excited to be doing this, especially this lighthouse one. I'm really geeked about that. So I'm going to set this right over here and see if there's any questions. Thank you, Brenda, for reminding people. If you're watching on my YouTube channel, and I know you're probably not thinking too much thumbs up right now, but if you wouldn't mind giving me a thumbs up, I'd appreciate it. There is no stand for the lighthouse. That's correct. It's a leaner. Okay. All right, but you can order a stand from Unfinished Wood Co. if you want. It's a 1/2-inch plywood piece, so you can get the stand if you would like to. All right, so let's get to tonight's demonstration. Tonight, I'm going to be sharing with you how to create a passionflower vine. And I think some of you, when I put the announcement up, said you'd never seen something like that. So you're going to be real surprised. So down here in Florida, they grow like in the bushes and the weeds and stuff. And then people have them, of course, if they want them pretty and nice, they groom them and keep them around their houses. But we walk around our pond here, around our home, near our home, and they're growing in the bushes and shrubs. So I don't know if somebody dropped seeds in there or what, but they seem to grow naturally. So it's kind of a cool thing, and it's a very different looking flower. So let's get going overhead, and I will share with you how we create this. Okay, so let's come down here. So this is what we're creating. My husband calls them an alien flower because he thinks they look very, very alien-like. But they're a pretty simple flower to create. They just take several steps. And I'm going to be doing this on a styrene gallery glass blank surface. This is a 6-inch round comes in a pack of 3 from onestroke.com. gallery glass blank surface. Okay, so this is the round one, and like I said, it comes in a package of 3, and they are shrink wrapped to be protected. And so it's very similar to painting on glass. It's just a thick styrene plastic piece. And so I'm going to put this right here. Let's back up just a little bit here because the light's glaring. There we go. All right, so let's put our colors out for this. Oh, that's right. I was going to put it on the paper so that it was easier to move. No, that's going to slide. Let's keep it here. Okay. All right, so the colors we're going to be using is Happy Green. So a little different shade from our citrus green. And it's got, I think, a little more yellow in it maybe, but it makes you happy. And then I've got some wicker white. That's going to be for our leaves. All right, and then we're also going to need some purple, so violet pansy. And we're going to put that near the white. There we go. And then we also need some Juneberry. And a little bit of sap green for our leaves. So let's put this over here. Okay. And we don't need any floating medium in this case. All right, so first thing I want to do is I'm going to work with a 12 flat. Get that damp, and we're going to load with our leaf colors. All right, so that's going to be primarily Happy Green. And then I'm going to come over here and side stroke, or load half, I should say, not side stroke, half white with the Happy Green mix. Okay, so it's just lightening up that green a little bit. Okay. All right, so the way I want to lay this out on here is we're going to have the side view one is going to sit right down here, and then the facing one's going to sit right up here. And we're going to do all the leaves for that at the same time. So let's put the side view one in first. I'm going to move this over here and shove this over here, and let's come down. All right, so side view right here. What you want to do with this one is you're going to come from, so if the center is right here, you're going to come out with a slight upward turn and then slide back in. Okay, so I'm going to come a little closer so you can see that. Let's stroke that again. We're going to go out with a little upward turn and stand back up. Right, and then we're going to go opposite that. So out, little upward turn, and slide back in. All right, and then I'm going to put my center one in here for placement. So let's come down, around, and stand up. All right, and then we'll have 2 more here. Everything comes back to that center. I want that to come out just a little wider, so let's bring that out. There we go. All right, and so then we're going to do the same thing out here. And here. There we go. Okay, so that's going to be the layout for the side view one for the leaves. And so I kind of want that to set up, and we're going to work on the top view one next. So what we want to do with this one, it has many leaves. So if, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So we're going to go, let's create kind of a star pattern here, right? So we'll cut it like a pie, and we'll have a cross like that. And then in between, you're going to have 2 additional, oops, that one goes there, that one comes here. Okay, so here's how we're going to create this. You want to come from the inside, and we're going to lay it out and slide back in. And then you're going to overlap. So you're going to lay it out and in. And they touch each other. Okay, so they're not really a daisy stroke. And we're just going to keep working around. As they come out, they're wider out here and then narrow inside. So I would say pressure-wise, I'm using not quite half pressure, maybe just slightly less than half pressure. But you need to make sure you're on that chisel edge coming back in. Okay. And then we'll finish with this one. There we go. Now the trick is, as you come all the way around, that they're the same height. And I think I got a little larger as I went around. So I'm just going to even some of these out. There. Okay. So far, not too bad. Right? Okay, so I want to let those kind of set up and dry. And while I'm doing that, I'm going to come over here and we're going to load some sap green on the lighter edge. So that would have been the edge that had white. And I'm going to work that in. Okay, and so they grow on a vine. All right, and so we're going to come from, let's come from behind here. And we'll kind of come down to that one. And then we can come out from here. All right, and then we can do a few little branches coming off and have it come down there. Okay, so then we have leaves coming off of these, and the leaves have 3 points on them. So you're going to start out with out to a point and come in, out to a point, and out to a point, and that's one leaf. They're a very unique plant. All right, so let's do another one. Point, point, point. You can do a partial there. And then let's come from here, we'll pull like that, and pull a stem in the middle. Okay, so then we can just add a few little singular leaves just to kind of fill that out. Okay. All right, so at this point then we're ready to start adding the centers on our flowers. And so I need to switch to, well, actually the first thing I need to do is we want to start with the Juneberry. You're going to create kind of a spoke work of stamens coming out. So we want actually the violet pansy and white on this 12 flat. Okay, and I need a good chisel edge because you want to stay, have a nice sharp chisel edge on this, okay? And so what you're gonna do is you're gonna go around, let's do this first one back here first. So you're gonna have these come in like this, and you're not going all the way in. But remember, this is the side view, so we're going to bring this in a bit of a curve and then down here. So they're little chisel edge touches going around. And the closer you can get them while not making them blurry, the better. So I keep coming back to my plate and flattening my brush out. And then back here, they need to be flat. And kind of curving in on the sides, okay? So then we're gonna come on this one, and this one's a little easier because you're just going around like spokes on a wheel and pulling that chisel edge stroke right in towards the center. So you're just keeping yourself out here and no pressure at all on that brush chisel edge. And you want quite a few of these out here. So it looks full. Okay, now I'm going to wipe that brush off and we're going to reload with Juneberry where the purple was. So 1/2 white and then Juneberry on the other half. And what we're going to do with that is we're going to come from the inside with the white going out, and you're just going to touch that Juneberry down going around the inside of the center of the flower. Okay. And it's creating kind of a neat little highlight around the outside edges of this these stamens. But you're primarily focusing on getting that Juneberry in around that base. Okay. Now we're going to do the same thing with this one. So keeping a chisel edge and keeping the white on white. So you're not going into the purple with the white. You don't want to make that purple disappear. So you're kind of just staying right here in the middle and rotating around in a circle. And the idea is that these are looking, you're trying to get these to look like they're all in the same length of stamen. Okay, so you're not trying to create two layers. It's the whites touching the white as you're going around. Okay, so that's pretty good. We want that Juneberry in that center. All right, now the rest of this is kind of some mechanics of building the center of the flower. So we're going to come to a 6th flat and a script liner. And so let's work on this side view one first. So with the side view, let's go with the 6th flat, and I'm going to load with the happy green. And then I want to side stroke a little bit of this sap. Okay. So happy green, side stroke the sap. And you're going to create this little tower. So it comes right through here and spreads out, and through here and spreads out. Let's see. We'll pull this up first. And then pull that dark green up the sides. There we go. All right, so it's just kind of spraying out here. And then the center is lighter. And it comes up above. The back edge. All right, now with that same loaded brush, we're going to pull in these little strokes that come in. There's 5 of them. So it's chisel, push, and stand up. It's like a leaf coming in. Right there. And then right here in the front is a little odd, but you want to come at this angle and stand it up to the center. All right, now I'm going to let those set, and we're going to come over here and work on the top look view one. Okay, I want to get fresh happy green, and then I'm going to come and side load some of that dark green. All right, and so what you want to do with these is chisel edge. They come into the center. Because you're looking at it from the top, you're not seeing that tall center stem. So it's a chisel with a comma stroke coming into the center. I'm going to come down just a little touch closer so you can see. It's a lot of detail on these. I'm going to side stroke a little bit of white and help this look That didn't work. So the dark, I think, is what we need to help it show. They're actually a lighter color green, but to get this to show up, we need that dark. There. Okay. So there's 5 of those, just like there was 5 coming off here. And then they have these little paddles on the ends, what they look like, right? It's just like this flat piece right there. Let me get a little bit of white on that. There we go. So there, darker green. Okay. All right, now we're going to switch. I've cleaned that brush and then we're going to pick up Juneberry. So we're going to load the 6 flat with Juneberry. And they have these like tongues coming out. So the top view one is push, push, and then bring it to the center. And there's 3 of these. So let's come here, push, push to the center. They almost look like a heart shape. And then they have a long point that comes to the middle. Okay. And then on the side view, they're kind of laid out. So here, let's pull one in here. We'll have one there and there. So I'm applying pressure, putting that outside edge on there, and then standing it up, chisel into the center. Okay. Now we're going to come in with the 2 script liner, and we're going to get some white. And remember, we're on glass/plastic, plexiglass, right? So we don't want any water with this, but we do want to come in and be able to do a little highlight here for the center. And we're going to pull some highlights down on these in the middle of the pink. Okay, just to help that stand out. They're very different looking, aren't they? All right, now I want to take that same brush and I'm going to get some violet pansy on the tip. And we're going to go around. Now you can use your kiss tool with this, but I just like to kind of tap at the outside edge of the stamens. So I've got white already on there, and then I'm tapping, I'm adding the violet pansy, and then I'm tapping. And I'm using my fingernail to keep me from going down too far, so it stops me before I push too hard. Okay, and we're going to do the same thing on this one. Okay, going around. Now you want to take care when you're doing this tapping on the painted area, because you don't want to accidentally scratch it off before it's cured and dried. So try to keep that off of any of the painted parts as you're tapping. The fingernail I'm talking about. All right, now we're going to do the same thing with the Juneberry. And tap a little bit of Juneberry. Not nearly as much as the purple, just touches of it. Okay. But they've got this kind of little frothy outside edge. Okay. All right, let me just grab a little bit of white, and we're going to put a little highlight going up. That's not white. Little highlight going up this tower here. Trying to pick up white, and it's keeping the pink on there. There we go. There. Just to highlight that. Okay, now to finish this, you want to do a little bit of shading. And so my leaves need to be dry, and I'm just going to come and side load some of the darker green. I have a wet brush. You could use medium. My brush just is wet enough that I can get that loaded on there. And then you can come kind of go underneath and along the edges. So underneath the stamens and then along the leaf edge as it overlaps. See that? So it gives some division in the leaves and underneath the stamens, a little bit of a shadow. There. Okay. So it just kind of helps those stand out a little more.